Every champion begins as an ordinary person who chooses extraordinary discipline, and Islam Makhachev is the perfect example of this truth. His journey from the mountains of Dagestan to the top of the UFC is not built on luck or hype, but on a daily routine that demands everything and gives nothing for free. He wakes up each morning with one purpose: to become better than he was yesterday. While others sleep, Islam trains. While others hesitate, Islam commits. This mindset is what creates champions, not the spotlight, not the fame. His blueprint shows that greatness is earned long before the world sees it. His day starts early, long before the world wakes up. Islam's mornings are quiet, focused, and disciplined. He begins with prayer, grounding his mind and heart before the chaos of training begins. This spiritual alignment gives him clarity, humility, and patience. He understands that strength is not only physical, it is mental, emotional, and spiritual. From his very first steps in the day, he builds a mindset that no opponent can break. This connection between faith and work is the foundation of his consistency, and it fuels every decision he makes in the hours to come. When Islam steps into the training room, he never trains for show, he trains for purpose. Every drill, every strike, every takedown, every round has intention behind it. He is not interested in ego battles or pointless intensity. Instead, he focuses on sharpening weaknesses, refining strengths, and learning from every mistake. He watches, listens, practices, and repeats. This is why his skill set evolves so quickly, because he approaches every session as a student, not a superstar. Champions learn faster because they remain humble, and Islam is the perfect symbol of that principle. His training is not limited to one area. He moves through grappling, wrestling, striking, and conditioning with the same level of focus. He doesn't complain about exhaustion, he embraces it. He doesn't fear hard rounds, he seeks them. In a world where many fighters rely on talent alone, Islam relies on repetition, technique, and discipline. He knows that talent fades when pressure rises, but habits survive. And his habits are built for war. His coaches say he's often the first in the room and the last to leave, proving that champions are defined when no one is watching. Even during rest, Islam remains intentional. Recovery is not laziness, it is part of the process. He values sleep, proper nutrition, stretching, and cold therapy as much as he values sparring. Many athletes burn out because they train hard but recover poorly. Islam stays ahead by respecting his body and giving it what it needs to perform at the highest level. His meals are simple, clean, and purposeful. No shortcuts. No cheating himself. His whole lifestyle is designed to support peak performance, proving that you cannot live like the average person and expect champion-level results. Another key pillar of Islam's blueprint is the environment he keeps around him. He surrounds himself with disciplined teammates who share the same mission. Training with champions like Khabib, following the guidance of Abdulmanap's system, and being part of a culture that values hard work over fame keeps him grounded. Islam does not allow negativity, distractions, or unnecessary noise into his circle. When your environment is strong, your mind becomes stronger. And Islam's environment is built for greatness, forged in humility and consistency. What makes Islam truly unique is his ability to stay humble, no matter how much success he earns. While many fighters chase attention, Islam remains focused only on his craft. He doesn't need to talk loudly because his work speaks louder. Humility gives him clarity. It protects him from becoming comfortable. It keeps him hungry. And in the world of fighting, hunger is everything. A champion is not someone who wins once. A champion is someone who keeps winning because he never stops striving. Islam's mental strength is a weapon that few opponents can match. He handles pressure with calmness, criticism with patience, and victory with gratitude. This mental composure is what separates him from those who break under the bright lights. When the cage door closes, his confidence comes from preparation, not arrogance. He already knows he has done the work. He already knows he has repeated every drill 1,000 times. He already knows he has lived like a champion long before the fight even began. His dedication to improvement is endless. Even after dominating performances, Islam returns to the gym with the same energy he had as a young prospect. He studies film, analyzes mistakes, and sets new goals. He never settles, never relaxes, never believes that he has arrived. This is the mindset that keeps champions at the top. Success is not a destination, it is a responsibility. And Islam carries that responsibility with discipline, and more discipline. Islam's routine may look simple from the outside, but its power lies in consistency. Doing the same things every day, with purpose, for years, that is what builds greatness. Most people want the results but not the routine. Islam embraces both. His blueprint teaches that if you master your day, you master your life. If you win the small battles, the big battles take care of themselves. If you stay disciplined when no one is watching, you become unstoppable when everyone is watching. His life reminds us that you don't need special conditions to become special. You just need habits that push you forward. You need routines that strengthen you. You need discipline that protects your goals. Islam's success is not magic, it is method. His daily habits create the version of him that the world sees on fight night. The cage is just the stage. The real fight happens every morning when he chooses discipline over comfort. Anyone who wants to succeed can learn from Islam's blueprint. It doesn't matter what your dream is, fighter, student, entrepreneur, athlete, the principles are the same. Wake up with purpose. Stick to your routine. Train your mind. Improve your skills. Surround yourself with disciplined people. Stay humble. Stay hungry. And above all, never break your consistency. These habits will turn ordinary days into extraordinary results. Islam Makhachev proves that champions are not born. They are built through habits that most people find too difficult to follow. But if you commit to them, if you trust the process, if you push yourself even when it's uncomfortable, you will rise. His journey is a reminder that greatness is not about talent or luck, it is about discipline layered over time. That is the true blueprint of a champion, and that is what makes Islam Makhachev one of the most inspiring fighters in the world. Relentless discipline and routine are the silent engines behind every great champion, and for Islam Makhachev, they form the backbone of his entire life. His discipline is not an occasional burst of motivation. It is a permanent lifestyle built on structure, responsibility, and an unshakable commitment to improvement. Every day begins and ends with purpose. He doesn't drift through hours or waste moments. He treats time like a weapon, using it with precision and intention. From the moment he wakes up, his actions follow a pattern that reinforces his goals. He doesn't leave anything to chance, because chance has never created a champion, discipline has. His routine is not glamorous or filled with shortcuts. It is built on repetition, consistency, and the willingness to do the same hard work day after day, even when no one is watching. Islam understands that motivation fades, but discipline survives. When he feels tired, he still shows up. When he feels sore, he still trains. When his mind wants to relax, he pushes through because he knows greatness is found in these exact moments. What separates him from others is not just how hard he works on good days, but how he performs on difficult days when every excuse seems justified. Those are the days that shape champions. Every morning, he follows the same rhythm: prayer, training, recovery, repetition. This routine builds a sharp mind and a strong body. The structure keeps him focused, protects him from distractions, and ensures that nothing in his life slows his progress. He doesn't allow randomness or laziness to enter his schedule. His daily habits are polished, tested, and perfected over years. When others skip training, Islam is already sweating. When others scroll or waste hours, he is learning, improving, and refining his craft. His discipline doesn't just prepare him physically, it strengthens his identity as someone who does not quit. Over time, This routine becomes part of his character. It becomes impossible for him to step away or slack off because discipline is now who he is, not something he forces. This is the real power of routine. It removes the need to decide. Islam doesn't wake up and debate whether he should train. The decision was made years ago. His actions follow automatically, like breathing. And that consistency leads to mastery. The moves he performs in the cage come naturally not because they are easy but because he has practiced them thousands of times with unwavering focus. Relentless discipline also gives Islam mental freedom. He doesn't fear difficult opponents or high-pressure moments because he knows he has earned his confidence through work. Discipline becomes his armor. Routine becomes his shield. When fighters rely on talent alone, pressure breaks them. But when a fighter relies on daily discipline, nothing can shake them. Islam's routine has built a warrior who trusts his preparation more than he fears any challenge. His life is proof that champions are made long before the world sees them win. They are made in quiet mornings, in lonely training rooms, in disciplined habits that most people overlook. Islam shows that if you control your day, you control your destiny. His relentless discipline and unbreakable routine are not simply habits. They are the blueprint that turned a young boy from Dagestan into one of the most dominant fighters on the planet. A mindset built on humility and focus is one of Islam Makhachev's greatest strengths, and it is the reason he remains grounded even as he rises to the top of the fighting world. His humility is not an act. It is a way of life shaped by culture, discipline, and the teachings of his mentors. He doesn't view himself as superior to anyone, even though he holds a champion's position. This humility keeps him free from distractions that fame often brings. Instead of chasing attention, he avoids it. Instead of bragging, he stays silent. Instead of thinking he has nothing left to learn, he approaches each day like a student. This mindset protects him from complacency, which is the enemy of every champion. Islam's focus is equally powerful. He doesn't get caught up in the external noise, comments, critics, hype, or pressure. His mind stays locked on his goals and the work required to reach them. When he has a fight coming up, he shuts everything else out and places all his energy into preparation. Even outside of fight camp, he maintains a calm and steady focus on improvement. This level of mental discipline allows him to perform at his best without being overwhelmed by emotions. He is not distracted by the temporary highs of praise nor shaken by the temporary lows of doubt. Humility also gives Islam an incredible sense of self-awareness. He is honest with himself about his mistakes, his weaknesses, and the areas that need work. Many fighters cannot accept criticism or correction because their ego blocks them. Islam listens, evaluates, and adapts. He never sees constructive feedback as an insult. Instead, he sees it as an opportunity to grow. This is why he becomes more complete every time he steps into the cage, because his ego never stands in the way of his evolution. The foundation of this mindset comes from the environment he was raised in. Dagestan's culture teaches respect, discipline, and modesty. The influence of Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov reinforced those values. Abdulmanap taught Islam and his teammates that strength without humility is weakness, and victory without discipline is temporary. These teachings became deeply ingrained in Islam's character. Even after achieving global success, he never abandoned the principles that shaped him. He remains grateful for his coaches, loyal to his team, and respectful to every opponent. His focus is further strengthened by his spiritual practices. Prayer gives him peace, grounding, and clarity. It reminds him of purpose beyond fame or wealth. It keeps his heart steady during hardest moments. When others break under pressure, Islam stays calm because his mind is anchored. This spiritual foundation allows him to handle challenges, setbacks, and intense situations with remarkable composure. It keeps him centered while the world around him becomes chaotic. Humility also affects how he interacts with people. Islam treats fans, teammates, and even critics with respect. He doesn't look down on anyone. He doesn't engage in unnecessary trash talk. His confidence comes from preparation, not arrogance. People gravitate towards him because he represents a rare kind of strength, the strength to stay grounded in a world full of ego. This makes him a natural leader in the gym and a role model for young fighters who watch him closely. Focus, on the other hand, shapes his work ethic. When Islam trains, his attention is undivided. He is not thinking about cameras, social media, or public image. He thinks only about technique, timing, strategy, and improvement. That deep concentration allows him to absorb more knowledge in one session than most fighters absorb in a week. When he studies opponents, he watches with intention, looking for patterns and opportunities. When he practices a skill, he stays locked in until it becomes automatic. Together, humility and focus create a champion's mindset, stable, disciplined, and unshakable. Islam doesn't let fame inflate him or criticism distract him. He remains driven by purpose, guided by principle, and committed to growth. This mindset makes him as strong mentally as he is physically, and that is why he stands out. Islam Makhachev's example shows that greatness is not just about talent or power. It is about the strength to stay humble, the discipline to stay focused, and the wisdom to never lose sight of what truly matters. A lifestyle that supports greatness is not built on occasional effort. It is built on every choice a person makes throughout the day, and Islam Makhachev's life is a perfect example of this. Everything he does, from the moment he wakes up to the moment he goes to sleep, is designed to strengthen his body, sharpen his mind, and prepare him for the demands of being a world-class fighter. He does not live carelessly or indulge in habits that weaken discipline. Instead, he makes decisions that align with his long-term goals, proving that true greatness is built outside the spotlight, in the quiet moments where no one is judging, praising, or watching. Islam's diet is simple but powerful. He doesn't chase fancy meals or unhealthy cravings. He eats clean, natural, and balanced foods that fuel his body for performance. His meals are structured around protein, energy, and recovery. No extreme fasting, no reckless eating, just discipline and moderation. This consistency improves his endurance, strength, and overall health. Many athletes underestimate how much diet affects performance, but Islam treats nutrition as seriously as training. He knows that what he puts inside his body directly affects what he can produce in the cage. Recovery is another essential part of his lifestyle. Islam doesn't see resting as weakness, he sees it as preparation. He prioritizes sleep because he knows the body grows stronger when it heals. He uses cold therapy, stretching, massages, and breathing exercises to improve mobility and reduce fatigue. Every recovery routine has a purpose, and he sticks to it without excuses. Where others push blindly and burn out, Islam recovers smartly and returns stronger. This balance between effort and rest is a hidden superpower that keeps him performing at his peak year after year. His daily habits also reflect discipline beyond physical training. Islam keeps his life simple and free from unnecessary distractions. He does not chase fame, nightlife, or attention. He prefers quiet environments where he can think, prepare, and focus. This simplicity protects him from stress and keeps his mind clear. In a world full of noise, he chooses peace. In a world full of temptation, he chooses discipline. That mental purity gives him an advantage in high-pressure moments, allowing him to stay calm and composed where others crumble. The people he surrounds himself with also play a huge role in shaping his lifestyle. Islam doesn't keep negative or unfocused individuals close. His circle is filled with disciplined teammates, experienced coaches, and loyal friends who share the same values. Training with champions like Khabib, following the principles of Abdulmanap's system, and being around hardworking athletes keeps him motivated and accountable. The environment around him is built for excellence, and that energy pushes him to stay on the right path every day. Spirituality is another pillar of his lifestyle. Islam's faith gives him balance, humility, and inner strength. His prayers keep him centered and grateful, reminding him that life is bigger than fame or victory. This spiritual grounding allows him to handle success with modesty and failure with patience. It keeps his character strong even when the world tries to pull him in other directions. His beliefs shape his discipline, his routine, and his purpose, creating a deep sense of stability. His lifestyle also includes a constant commitment to self-improvement outside the gym. Islam studies fights, learns new techniques, and pays attention to small details that others often ignore. He approaches life with curiosity and discipline, always searching for ways to grow. Whether he is analyzing opponents, refining strategies, or working on mental toughness, he treats improvement as a daily habit, not a temporary project. All these elements come together to form a lifestyle built for greatness. It is not one thing but a combination of countless small decisions: clean eating, proper rest, disciplined training, spiritual balance, a strong environment, and a focused mindset. Islam's life shows that greatness is not an accident, it is a result of living every day with intention. He proves that if you structure your lifestyle around your goals, success becomes a natural outcome. His example reminds us that champions are not made in the cage, they are made in the routines, habits, and choices
that shape their everyday life. G.